Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices, and you can sign up for product alerts. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Last week I reviewed Rear Window, which was from Funko Games, designed by Prospero Hall and based on the Alfred Hitchcock movie. But it is an art interpretation co-op game, and there's other popular ones like Mysterium Park, Obscurio. So I'm going to talk about all these and talk about which one I like the best, which one I like the least, which one might be the best for you depending on your group and your style. Let me first give you a 1-minute overview of how all these play. Mysterium is a fully cooperative game where you're trying to find out who was murdered in this mansion. One player will play the ghost and be behind the shield and know the solution. They're trying to get you without speaking to find out the real solution before the 7th hour or the 7th turn's over. Now these correct solutions come in the form of dreams to the 3 players on this side of the shield. Each one of these has a solution of their own, and the ghost is trying to get them to guess. First they'll have to figure out which character is their solution of part of their dream. Once they get that correct, they'll move on to the 6 different locations. Which one is theirs? And then finally they will move on to the weapon. So each person has a person, place, and thing of their dream that is a possible correct solution. And the ghost gives clues without speaking by giving cards with interesting artwork to each player, and then everybody discusses what they think is the character they're talking about is. So for example, this one. This lady has a hat that kind of looks like this lady's hat. But it kind of looks like they're in the desert and maybe she's the archaeologist in the desert digging. Or this huge spyglass looks like this sort of magnifying glass, and everyone talks about which person they think it is, and at the end of the turn everyone has gotten a card and they figure out who is right and who is wrong. The people that are right move to the location, people that are wrong spend next turn still trying to get their character. And if all players get their person, place, or thing by the end of the 7th round, we go to a final round where we try to guess the final true solution. Otherwise everyone loses and it's win or lose together. Mysterium Park is for 2 to 6 players, and players are working together to try to figure out who committed the murder and where did it happen. One player places the ghost, then they'll know which character or location are innocent and trying to let the other players know by giving them creative cards and not talking. All the other players then try to discuss which one they're trying to talk about. After multiple rounds, once all players got it right, they then go to locations and do the same thing over again. If they don't pass all their locations by the end of the 6th round, everyone has lost. But if all the innocent locations are found by the end of the 6th round, you go to a final vision where the ghost is trying to show you which character and which location. If everyone votes for the right one, you all win. If not, you all lose. Now an Obscurio is a game where there's always going to be a hidden traitor. One player is the clue giver like these other games, and you are essentially trying to give clues to where the exit is by placing little arrows on pictures giving them some clues as to what they are, but there is a traitor that will secretly be able to select cards that might be most like what you're trying to get the other people to guess, and then the other people are trying to guess which one is the real exit, and the traitors, hopefully they're getting them not to, because that will make the clock go faster and possibly make you not lose. And you're trying to figure out who the traitor is, but also trying to get out through it in the end. So it's similar to Mysterium, but it always has a traitor, and it's really much more for gamers because there's lots of different trap tokens that have different abilities and such. But in the essence, it's similar to Mysterium with their traitor, and there's other mechanisms too, but that's generally what's going on in Obscurio. Rear Window is a cooperative game where one player secretly knows the solution as to which residents are in which apartments and which attributes they have, and they're trying to get the other players to guess that. Each of the 4 rounds, the director's putting out 8 cards, and everyone else, the watchers, are trying to talk together, trying to figure out which resident and attribute is in each apartment. They deliberate, and the director says how many they got right, like 2. The solution doesn't change throughout the 4 rounds, but by the end of the 4th round, everyone needs to try to get all 8 together to win. However, there might be a murder. These are random at the beginning of the game, and if a murder happens, the director is no longer working with everyone else. They're a traitor and trying to get them to get almost all of them right, but have them not pick that there is a murder or where it is. But the other side of the team wins if they're able to get most of them right, but also say where the murderer is. So it's a hidden traitor, maybe. And you can ratchet up difficulty with more advanced attributes that also include another resident. All right, now let's first talk about Mysterium. This was the first one that has come out. It's for 2 to 6 players, sorry, 2 to 7 players. And this one for me is the most epic game. It does take the longest to set up. It does have the most sort of things going on. The cards have the most going on in them. But you can still play this with a very casual group that's maybe just played Clue, because it has some similarities to Clue. I like in this game that you have a card and you're giving it to a specific person, and they're looking at the card. It's up to them to decide which one is most like it. Now they're looking around and maybe talking to their neighbors and stuff and trying to decide, well, what do you think? This one, this one. I'm thinking this and this. So they're working together, but you are giving someone an individual card. I love that you're going round and round. I love that the tension's coming out. By the way, if you have the new version of Mysterium, the one by Asmodee, do not play with the clairvoyance mechanism. It was added to the game in this version. It bloats the game. It makes it fiddly. It allows you to game the game and break the game by purposely guessing wrong so you can move up on a track so you have more influence in the end. It's rubbish. Take that out and the game is just clean and it's just streamlined. Now, this game has a really cool theme. It's great to play. You need good light on the cards, but you can be playing some spooky music, maybe some candles. This is the most epic of all of these games, and it is still my favorite out of all of these, including with how you get to the end and everyone has to sort of agree on which one it is. It has a great reveal at the end. This is my favorite of all of these games still, and it's the oldest one, and that tells you something, because usually we have new game bias. The next one to come out was Obscurio. Now, this is the one that is for 2 to 8 players, but always has a traitor. It's really 4 to 8 players, because 2 or 3 players has a variant that I don't recommend. 4 to 8 players. And this is a good game for those that's a niche within a niche within a niche. Good for experienced gamers. This isn't something I would pull out for casual people that had only played Clue like I would for Mysterium. Experienced gamers, gamers like this game, and you have 4 to 8 players, and you like art interpretation games, and you like hidden traders. If that's your group, this might be your favorite one and your group's favorite one. For me, it was my least favorite one because it was a little bit bloated. Because the different tokens and the trap tokens and all that have all these different abilities, makes it a little bit bloated. And it's a limited play count. You need 4 to 8. So this one for me was my least favorite. I did not end up keeping this one. But again, this could easily be some group's favorite. If you only play with gamers and you like hidden traders and you like a little bit more going on, but you still like the art interpretation, this could be your favorite. But for me, it was my least favorite, least streamlined one of all of these. Now, the next one to come out was Mysterium Park. This was sort of a streamlined, smaller, quicker version of Mysterium with new cards and such, 2 to 6 players. It made it a lot faster to set up. It made it a lot faster to play. You're only playing 2 rounds. They did a lot of things to streamline Mysterium, which is great, but the negatives on this outweigh the positives for me. This actually is my least favorite of all of them. I actually do like Obscurio better than this, but I didn't keep either of these. The downtime while sitting out of rounds in Mysterium Park, when you finish and get it right and other people don't, you do nothing for the next round. Sure, you can help them, but you don't have anything on your own to do. Where in the regular Mysterium, everyone goes through and you can be ahead of people, and if you do get ahead of people, it's towards the end and you're probably either going to run out of time or get to the last round quicker, so it's not as much downtime. Plus, there's less variability in the cards here, and there's no way to change the difficulty in this. So I like what they were trying to do, but I don't think they execute it well enough because the downsides were bigger than the upsides for here. This was my least favorite of all of them, Mysterium Park. Now we're going to get to Rear Window, which was the most recent one I just reviewed. That one says 3 to 5 players, but you can really play it with 2 players, just like you can with Mysterium. You're just going to want to talk, have that person talking about what they're thinking, why they're choosing what, so you can sort of work with them, but it works fine with 2. It does have the most limited player count, 3 to 5. So even if it's 2 to 5, it's still the most stringent player count. But this one offers a lot because it kind of replaced Mysterium Park for me because it is quicker and easier to set up than Mysterium. You can play it without the murderer, so it's, again, easier, more streamlined with Mysterium. But after you've played it, you can add in the possibility of a murder. Then you can add in the purple attribute tiles, which makes it a lot harder, a lot more difficult. Even gamers are going to like it without those purple tiles, but you can really ratchet up that difficulty. The cards are cool, it mimics the movie well. This is something that we're like, hey, if I want to get that Mysterium feel, but I want to do it quicker and easier with less setup, this is what to pick. I'm still going to want to play Mysterium the most out of all of these. But again, this Rear Window is made to be in the sort of mass market stores where somebody wanders in, likes the movie, gets the game, brings it home, they can have a great time. But gamers like it too. Mysterium, yes, non-gamers can like it too, but they're best to be on the opposite side where you're not giving the clues. So that's it. Mysterium's my favorite. Rear Window is my favorite if I don't have enough time to play Mysterium and I just want to get in something a little bit quicker. And Mysterium Park was replaced by Rear Window. And Obscurio, I'll play it with a gamer group if they're all gamers and they really wanted to play it, I'd play it, but it's not one that was my favorite, but it might be for you. So hopefully this has helped you break down all of these and which one might be best for you, because that's what I try to do on this channel, because my tagline is breaking down barriers and growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you love, and I hope I've done that here for you. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table to a high-quality gaming solution, they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with their amazing thematic premium stitch edge mats from noted board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and really cool accessories, it's a complete system that upgrades every game you play. Go to GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below to late pledge for their latest Game Topper 3.5 Kickstarter campaign.